looking at getting started with research writing. I'm going to send this PDF presentation to the group later on, maybe after this seminar. So getting started with research writing. And we have the following outline for today. What is research writing? I believe most of us know what research is. Yeah, the definition, yeah, very important. Then we're going to be looking at how to identify a novel, timely, and relevant research topic. That outline too is very, very important in our research journey. Very important. Not something we can just take with levity or we can take for granted. Very important. And if we are really aspiring to have papers published in Scopus Index, Web of Science Index, ERIC, Rod, and the likes, we need to understand how to identify a novel, a timely, and a relevant research topic. Because if not, such paper is going to be rejected even before it gets to the editor. So the other thing we're going to be looking at tools to learn how to use as a researcher. Yeah, there are certain tools that we must learn how to use, when I started my journey, we shouldn't be surprised that my research journey actually started last year, just last year. Yeah, last year, I think it was March. Yeah, I had my first presentation March 2023 at the University of Lagos. That was when it started. But as because of resilience and hard work and the zeal to know more, it has really helped me to fast track a lot of things. So when I started all these tools, I wasn't really familiar with it, and it's a kind of creates a kind of difficulty for me to do some things when it comes to research. But I'm going to be opening our eyes to those tools that can make our work easier. Yeah, that can make our work easier. In fact, if you want to write a research article in a day, it is possible because it's something I've done before. In fact, I've written a research paper in just less than 5 hours. And I believe at the end of this seminar, we'll be able to do that and we'll be able to testify that we can do that on our own. So we're going to be looking at the types of journal articles, and we're also going to be, and the reason why we are going to be looking at that is because, we need to know the types of journal article. And the reason is because we don't want to publish papers that will be in just one area of focus. We have several types of journal article. We're going to be looking at that. And the last thing is that we're going to be looking at reputable databases to get open access papers. And I will also put us can you please have, okay, thank you, sir. So we're also going to be looking at reputable databases to get open access paper. However, there are some papers that are not open access, but I'm going to tell us how we can actually get some of those papers without pay. Yeah, there's a way we can get it without even paying. So now, firstly, we're going to be talking about research writing. Now, what is research writing? Before we even go to what I have here, I would like to ask us, what do we think about research writing, or how do we see research writing? Yeah, does anyone want to talk? Please, this is an interactive session. It's not something that will just be the only one talking. Does anyone want to talk, like research writing in your own perspective, like the way you view it? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, are we there?
Yes. My name is Bola Alemiru.
Yes, sir.
My own concept of research writing is a situation where, after thinking about one thing or the other, you now discover a particular problem area that you are interested in, and you want to probe into it, looking at what is the cause of the problem, how is the problem going to be solved, and when you solve the problem or you are able to resolve the problem, how did you go about making it known to the people using either a qualitative or a quantitative method, In that case, you are able to identify half objective, half your method, half your findings, half your discussion, and draw a conclusion. The bottom line is that such a thing should be able to contribute to the
Oh,
body of knowledge, one, and is able to also solve a particular problem that you are addressing. That is my own concept and understanding of a research writing.
wow, this is great. Thank you so much, Mr. Bola. I really appreciate that contribution. Anyone else? Does anyone else have any other thing to add to it?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Mrs. Badmos, yes, we can hear you.
I believe it's all about solving problem and contributing to knowledge base.
Oh, wow, that's great. Yeah, solving knowledge and contributing to knowledge. Thank you for that. Okay, anyone else? All right. Okay, it seems we don't have anyone else. Okay, thank you very much. I would like to. Okay, Mr. Rahim, you want to say something? Mr. Rahim, do you want to say something? Because I can see you unmute yourself just now.
Yes, you can proceed, no problem.
Okay. So when we're talking about research writing, I would like to pick it up from where the contributors have actually put in their own view of it. When we're talking about research writing, okay, we can't talk without research writing without talking about a problem. So research writing is a formal, objective, and systematic process. As you can see, you will see that I put those three things in a blue color for a reason. It is a formal, objective, and systematic process. It means that we are not just doing research because we want to do it for doing sake. Yeah. And don't forget that before you can actually have an objective, before you can write an objective for a particular research, there must be a problem, which is why it says that it is a process of investigating a research question or problem to generate new knowledge. Yeah, Mr. Bola and Mrs. Badmos actually mentioned that to generate new knowledge or solve a real world issue. So, meaning that if you're writing research and it's not solving a problem and it's not contributing to the body of knowledge, that is not research. It's just a let me just call it, what should I call it? I can call it letter writing. Letter writing doesn't have to contribute to knowledge. Yeah, you can just write it to people and, they will just read it, just like a message. But a good researcher must come up with something that will contribute to the body of knowledge and solve real world issue. Not something that has been done before. Even if it is something that has been done before, you must do it in such a way that it addresses certain gap. The word gap must be found in research. There must be a gap you are addressing, no matter how little the gap is. So there must be a problem, and after solving the problem, you should be able to contribute to the body of knowledge and solve real world issue. That is what research writing is. And research writing is also a systematic process. Yeah, systematic process. So this systematic process is very, very crucial and important because when you are doing research, you don't just want to do research. There are some steps, there are some process, there are some levels of research. So there are some process, there are some steps you need to follow. You don't just do it anyhow. There are some things like ethical consideration, the method, the arrangement and every other thing, the citation, the referencing, everything. Those things put together, they are called the process, and it is systematic because it follows one another. So one is depending on the other. One is depending on the other. And if one area is faulty, that means it may affect the whole thing that one is trying to put together. And another definition of research writing, as adapted from Elsevier, based on International Journal of African Nursing, is that research writing is defined as a process of composing scholarly documents that necessitate adequate writing skills. Yeah, scholarly documents. Those documents have been existing. That's where the literature review comes in, where you begin to cite instances of studies that have been done relating to your work, and from there, those studies will actually have some limitations. Yeah, some recommendations will be made. So based on those recommendations or those limitations, you can actually identify your problem. So, and it adheres to deadlines, and it often involves collaboration, feedback, particularly in postgraduate education. Yeah, mostly research is usually valuable in postgraduate education, like the master's and the degree, the MPhil and the likes. So it is essential for academic progress as deficiencies in research writing can hinder student advancement. So not only students, if we stop researching, like it may affect the entire world, because there are some things that are being discovered daily, year in, year out, and it's helping the environment at large. So if researchers stop researching, it may affect the whole world in general. Are we following? Ladies and gentlemen, are we following?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So let's look at the component of research. So I actually come up with these 4 components of research. Although if you look at some website and if you look at some textbook, it's more than this, but I compiled them together, like to make it just 4. The first component of research is research foundation. I call this research foundation, and inside it we have the research problem, the research question, the objective, the literature review. Yeah, it has the problem, the research question, the research objective, and the literature review. So the essence of the problem is that you identify something that is wrong. The question now is, what are those things that those questions you are asking, the research question are the questions you are asking to address that problem. And the objective is also relating to the research question. So you can get the objective, the research question from the objective. But most times, as time goes on, we are still going to be learning some things. At times.
Hello,
Hello, Mr. Bola, are you saying something?
no.
Oh, okay. So, as time goes on, we are still going to learn some things. At times it is usually very, very okay to come up with research question before objective. Yeah. Don't quote me wrong. I will have still explained that when we look into that area. So from your research question, you can come up with objective. At times when you come up with objective before your research question, it may destroy your plan of the research, of whatever research you're carrying out. So the research foundation consists of research question, objective, and literature review. And what's the importance of literature review in research foundation? It helps us to understand the current knowledge. So without literature review, you may not be able to support the problem you want to solve with a valid evidence, because there must be an evidence that the problem you want to solve is actually relevant. If it's not relevant, it's just a waste of time. That is why literature review is very, very important. And most times now, researchers now, what they do now is that they take literature review for granted. In fact, you see a lot of people, I've seen a situation, I reviewed a paper recently, and I realized that the paper was written with AI from beginning to the end. Immediately I saw this, I was like, and the funniest part is that those that are listed in that research paper, I think they were about 8. All of them are doctors. They are lecturers in an institution. I will not mention the name of the institution because, privacy is very important when it comes to research. So, they were 8 doctors. And when I look at the paper, the way the paper was structured, everything, the writing, the topic and everything was AI. In fact, some references there, when you look at it, you know that it's AI generated because the references doesn't exist. So that is not research. Those ones are just doing it because they want to get promotion, or probably because they want to, they want to add to their profile and get promotion. And research is beyond that. So the second component of research is methodology. Methodology is what is a description of your research design, the method, and the procedure. So methodology is just the procedure, the step, the method, the design you want to use in carrying out, we want to use in solving the problem you've identified. So without a methodology, you may not be able to successfully address that problem, because there must be a design, there must be a method, there must be a procedure. Then the third component of research writing is data collection and analysis. This is very, very important. This data collection and analysis, we take it for granted so much in Nigeria. Yeah, data collection. You will see someone that want to carry out research on undergraduate students, and the person will be given the questionnaire to even the graduates, even those that are not undergraduate, even the secondary school students, they will just give them, just tick, 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 tick. That is not research. And at the end of the day, you now gather those data, analyze them, they interpret them. So you are saying that you are contributing to the body of knowledge, but you are confusing the body of knowledge with that because your procedure, you didn't follow the normal procedure of gathering your data, of collecting your data, because data collection has to be systematic. It has some steps you need to take whenever you are carrying, whenever you are collecting your data. And before you can collect your data, there must be instruments that you must use. And those instruments must be something that has been validated and it's reliable. So we have validity and reliability. Those two things are very, very important. In one of our seminars, we're still going to talk about those two things. So it's a systematic collection and rigorous analysis of data. That is data collection and analysis. Very, very important. And the analysis is also important because you must use a suitable analysis. At times we just pick those statistical analysis without even looking at whether it is suitable for a study. There are times that you need to run your data. You need to check for assumption of those method you are using. We have different methods like the ANOVA, the ANCOVA, Spearman, and so on and so forth. You need to check for the assumption. If the assumption is not met and you are using that method, then you are doing the wrong thing. Yeah, you are doing the wrong thing. Your result will be different from what it's supposed to be. That's just it. And whenever you carry out your analysis and you realize that maybe the result you are getting is not what you expect, you don't change it. As long as that is what you get from your study, from the study you carry out, then you are good to go. You don't need to keep changing it so that you can suit. Like when you are trying to change it, you are trying to manipulate it. It means that you want it to suit your own. It means that you already have the result of what you are doing. And in research, you shouldn't have the result of what you are doing before you start carrying it out. Are we following?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then number 4, result and interpretation, which is presentation of findings and interpretation in context. So you need to present your results. You need to interpret your results based on the data you've collected. You interpret it, you present it, then you interpret it. Then after interpretation, there's also discussion. You need to discuss it. And the reason for discussion is so that you want to know whether what you found out, your result, whether it agrees or disagrees with existing literature. That is why literature review is very important. There are some of your results that will agree with existing literature. Some of it will disagree with the existing literature. So that's why you need to discuss. Then after discussion, there must be implication of the findings. Like implication means that who are the beneficiary of this study? Is it the policymaker? Is it the curriculum developer? Is it the secondary school teacher? Is it the lecturers? Yeah, implication of findings, very, very important. Then after that, you may put limitation of the study. Is also another component of research. There's no research without limitation. There's no perfect research topic. Every research must end with a limitation. And one mistake that we make in Nigeria is that, you see a lecturer telling a student to go and bring a topic, and you will realize that in chapter 1, the student will just put limitation of the study. I always wonder within myself, how do you know that there's limitation when you've not even started the work? You will see students writing a time factor is a limitation. How do you know that time is a time factor? Have you even carried it out? Yeah. That's not, you don't assume. It's after you've carried out the study that you may know the limitation of the study. And limitation is not only limited to time or money factor. Limitation can be your research design, your statistical data, yes, your population, your sample size. Those can be limitations. Then another component is suggestion for further study. So when you carry out your research, you may give suggestion for future research. Maybe there's something you couldn't touch with your research, then you can give suggestion to researchers who might want to carry the same study in a different context in future. Do we have any questions so far before I proceed? Because I would love us to interact a bit before we proceed to the next thing. Any question? Mr. Bola, Mr. Rahim, Mrs. Badmos. I believe the last person is Mr. Tijani.
Yes, that's Mr. Tijani.
Okay. Okay, Mrs. Badmos, yeah.
Yes, Sorry, I just want a clarification between delimitation, delimitation and limitation of study. Sorry,
Okay,
that's my question.
okay. Delimitation is also scope of the study. Delimitation or scope of the study. While limitation are those things, those problems, and like those things you encounter that may affect the results of your study. Do you get it now, ma?
Sorry, are you saying delimitation and scope? Because it is normally written in the body of the chapter 1, like delimitation, scope,
No, no, no. You don't
limitation. So
separate
now that you are saying
delimitation
that,
and scope. No. Most, in fact, delimitation, you can also research on it. Delimitation or scope of the study. That is it. Then you have limitation of the study separately. Do you get me now, ma? You can go to
okay,
the library and search for studies that has been done. You will see the delimitation or scope of the study. All right.
okay, thank you very
You're welcome, ma. Mr. Ryan, I guess you want to ask a question the other time.
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other question again before we proceed? All right. So in the absence of none, uh, we're going to look at, okay, I think I've mentioned most of these: conclusion, documentation and transparency, research quality, okay, references. Yeah. Now let's look at how to identify a novel and relevant related topic. Now, this is where we're going to be going practical. Yeah, this is where we're going to be going practical. But before I discuss this, I want to ask us. I know some of us have carried out research before. How were we able to do it in just 1 minute? Can we just tell us how were we able to identify a research topic? And everybody will talk here because this is a discussion. We have to discuss this. We need to take our time on this particular area. Very, very important. How were you able to identify your research topic?
Can I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, at my undergraduate level, I
Okay.
actually realized that I didn't really know what I was coming to do and this. But
That's
because
everybody. That's
I,
everybody.
but because I was a student of mathematics education, BSc mathematics, I have very solid background in statistics. So I now just decide, let me do a comparative analysis of uh, two exams. One is the mock. Those days we always do mock exam, and the the standardized exam, which is WAEC. The question now I want to find out is, does good performance in mock exam really translate into good or even something better performance in WAEC?
Wow.
So that comparative analysis just hit my heart at the first degree. But when I was doing my
Okay,
research
sir. Sorry,
at
sir.
master's
Please,
level,
what led to that topic? Like something must have led to that topic, sir.
that time, it's quite long a time. People are used to this idea of comparative analysis, achievement, impact of this, impact of
Okay.
that, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
But on my own, I was actually interested in the comparative. I saw it as the uh, those type of topics that I invoke and that I'm interested in knowing what is the relationship between mock and the WAEC exam. That is it. Am I saying anything to your?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm listening, sir.
Okay. So when I was doing the master's program, I have been into the field. I was a teacher at Lokoja, Ilorin, and so on and so forth. So I've taught mathematics at various levels, including further maths. I got to realize that there is a particular problem among students. And that problem is that they cannot really conceptualize certain aspect of mathematics. For example, if you are going to do simultaneous equation, the first thing is that you should be able to recognize that, oh, what the teacher has written up has to do with simultaneous equation based on the characteristics of it and so on and so forth. And also you should be able to say, oh, this one is not simultaneous equation, this is quadratic. But all I observed was that immediately students are taken outside the procedural system of solving problem. They are confused.
Yeah.
So I became interested in teaching concepts, teaching them the history behind every topic. In fact, it was because of money. I left government science school, Lokoja, to go and work with Nigeria Security Printing and Minting Company. So it was then I kept on. But then, even at the company, I was in the training section. So it was a privilege that I was in the training section before they moved me to one department or the other. But any department I find myself, I was deeply rooted in research. For example, I was in a security department, and they have one document: time in, time out, pass out, this and that. I just called my HOD. I want to investigate the time in and the time out and the consequence of all these things. You just don't just write this thing over 3 years without even knowing the implication. At the end of the day, I was able to come out with a sort of time lost, wasted hours, based on pass out. And when they took this thing to the management, honestly, it was the whole factory got scattered. When I gave analysis, I didn't even do it up to 1 month, 1 year. I did only 6 months.
Wow.
That I want to analyze pass out for 6 months, because at that time I was looking at the security job as too cheap for me, too easy for me. So I decided to take it beyond searching out and searching it to academics. And in fact, that one took me to Kenya in Nairobi when my boss realized that, oh, this guy is academically inclined. I went to Nairobi, I went to UK on different type of courses. So that was why I move into certain areas. I identify at master's level, I knew, and I want to contribute that at any point in time, and even up to now, I'm still searching for a topic that borders on concept learning in mathematics. I want to contribute into that area, that how students can, if you don't know the concept of what you want to do, you will find it difficult to do it very well. That is my own
Thank you very
contribution for
much,
now.
sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Abola, for that contribution. Yeah. Does anyone else? Okay, it's not a matter of does anyone else. Everyone must contribute. So, Mr. Haim, let's hear from you. How do you identify a research topic, like the research you've carried out? Hello, Mr. Haim, are you there?
Hello, yeah, good evening. Mr. Olabode.
Yes, sir.
Actually,
Yes.
during my master degree, my area of research wasn't the one I was. Okay, sorry for the breakup. Okay, my area of research was already the diagnosing the secondary school student misconception on some biology topics. But actually, when I met with my supervisor then, which is Professor Uyali, so I learned that she already had one area of topic that would like the master student to work on. So it will be to submit 20 to 30 topics to her, and those topics are not even related to our own area of interest. She won't even bother to approve it. So she will just be throwing out that she go and find another topic for her. So until I later discovered that our own area of interest is the technology base. So so that's how I came across using of the technological pedagogy context knowledge. And it's not only that, she even gave me some materials to read on. So before I went ahead with my research during that period, and by doing that, I learned that that area is not really that good, but also developed me in so many areas of my own method of teaching the schools. Because when I adopted some those knowledge and I tried to implement them in my school during that time, so everything worked differently. So to the extent that even those classes that I taught in the SS1, when they moved on to the SS2, so they had issue with their teacher that was taking them SS2, so they couldn't cope. So those students keep on complaining to the school that they would prefer to have the former teacher that was taking them in the SS1. So continue with them. But the man now asks, which method is the person using? So that made you not to cooperate with the current teacher that is teaching you, that is taking you. So so they now explain all the method I've been using to teach them. So they now have that teacher, that same teacher, so to come and meet me so that I will be able to, I should teach the same method I'm using. And when I even told her everything, so once she also discovered that even the method I'm using is even more simplest so than the one that they have been using. So which means that when it comes to the knowledge area, so most times where you'll be thinking that you are spending maybe like 90 minutes of time with teaching the student, at times it will be just be like maybe like 20 minutes something. Because when you have some basic knowledge that will help the student to be able to incorporate whatever you are teaching them, so it makes everything easier, not only for you teacher, but also for the students.
Wow,
So
that's nice.
what I will just say about that, not to waste much of time, is that at times research has really did a lot for me. Because most time, what I not even like that. So I don't know if you remember, even during my time of the master's degree. So there are some of the master students they were even sent to me that I should be the one to supervise their work after I've been tutored by my own supervisor. So all those knowledge I think really help. But time won't permit me to say much about it now. So thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for that, Mr. Rahim. I was able to pick one or two things. Okay, Mr. Tijani, would you want to say something about how you were able to come up with your research topic? Oh, Mr. Tijani is no longer on the call. So, Mrs. Badmos, can we hear from you? Please, whoever is
Okay,
talking,
thank you.
let's try to shorten what we want to say because of time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I believe that maybe after some time you might have been looking at a particular problem, that how can the problem be solved. So from that, you can get to read more books about it, read around it, so that you can locate the problem very well and situate it very well. Because it has to be smart. It has to be situational, part of what the smart is trying to talk about. Thank you very much. Since you said that I should be brief, that I should not
Thank you
extend it
very
too
much.
long.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, we've all said well. Yeah, but in all that we've said, I was able to pick some things in which I would want us to address along the line as I'm explaining how to identify a novel and relevant research topic. Now, the first thing is that as a researcher, a researcher is a thinker. We need to take note of that. As a researcher, you must think. You know, some might be looking at a object, like a object is in a position, maybe for a long time. As a researcher, I should ask question, why is this thing in that position and it's not moving? From there, when the idea drops, you don't come up with a topic instantly. Okay? The first thing you need to do is that you need to go on and look for existing literature. Maybe there is any study relating to the problem you've identified. And how do you know if a study has talked about what problem you've identified? You can know by looking at the result of those study. Like, when you glance through the abstract, the abstract will always have the method, the result, and every other thing you know. Okay. Then, if that problem, if you're identifying the problem must be, don't forget that you may have an idea may drop into your mind, and it may be an old area of research knowledge, maybe something that has been addressed, that several researchers have addressed it. And, if you are doing it just like you are doing what others have done, like there's no other area to exploit. If at all you want to exploit other area, there's another way you need to do it before it can be something that is filling a gap. Because if it's not filling a gap, that's not a good research topic. So I have three characteristics of a novel and relevant research topic. Please let us take note. For a topic to be a good topic, a good researchable topic must be novel and it must be relevant. Those two things are very important. And what are the characteristics? Number one, it must address a current issue or problem. That others are doing it doesn't mean that it is current. No, we have this habit in institution, and the habit is that most of the Nigerian supervisors, they've limited the way we do research, in the sense that if you keep giving them topic, maybe you identify an area and it is not related to their own area of research interest. Wow, it's light. I was thinking maybe the class is going to end early, but they bring the light. So, like, if permit me, please, I need to quickly do something. Just a minute. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So, as I was saying, I said, now in abroad, if you see most of those schools outside the country, what they do is that before you can be given a supervisor, either in the master or the PhD level, in fact, undergraduate level, they must know your own area of research topic, a research interest. So based on that area of research interest, you search for potential supervisors. I don't know if you've heard of potential supervisors before. So those potential supervisors must be people that are interested in the same area of knowledge, area of research as you. So you message them, you give them a viewpoint of those things you've identified. And if that person actually like that work, they will agree to be your supervisor. And from there, you don't need to have problem presenting a topic to them, and they will keep rejecting. And that's one of the problem. I'm even telling us one of the area of research I've identified, a problem that I've identified with institutions in Nigeria. The problem of not giving students their supervisors before they start the program. The student should have known his or her supervisor before starting the program. Yes, like University of Ibadan now, if you want to do masters, they will give you your supervisor. As your admission letter is coming out, the name of your supervisor will be coming out with it. So once you see the name of your supervisor, you'll be able to know, okay, you start working on some things that are related to his own area of research interest, even though it is not what I expect. I expect that you would have messaged the supervisor ahead, look at the area of interest that it aligns with yours, then the supervisor must have agreed that he or she is going to supervise you, and from there, you can pick it up from there. So number one, relevant and novel research topic must address a current issue or problem. Number two, it must fill a knowledge gap in existing literature. It must fill a knowledge gap. There's always a knowledge gap. How do you know a knowledge gap? For instance, research A says that drinking water too much usually affects the body. I'm just using it as an example. Then article B says drinking water too much does not affect the body. Now, another one now says that it depends on the nature of your body. Whether you drink water too much or not depends, drinking water too much or not, whether it will affect you or not, depends on the nature of your body. That is three different things. It's not correlating. That's a problem. So you may come up with something that will be able to address those three and bring those three together. I hope are we getting it? Are you following?
Yes.
So those three things, they are not correlating. They are not actually correlating. So that's a problem on its own. Then number three, it must have practical application or implication. So the result of your topic, like the topic you are trying to address, it's having a practical implication, not something you are just doing for doing sake. You are doing it so that the results, you have to suggest some things that can be put in place to address those problems. Now, I want us to go online now. I don't know if you are with your laptop, and I want us to look at the best way we can actually identify research topic. Now, when an idea comes to your mind, the first thing you need to do is that you need to go and download some articles. Anytime I have a research idea in mind that comes to my mind, the first thing that I do is that I download nothing less than 10 journal articles on that topic. And when I want to do that, I download both national and international journals. Because if you are downloading only national journal, you don't want to limit your research to stay within Nigeria alone. You don't want to quote, you don't want to cite existing literature within your country alone. You want to look at how other researchers have exploited that particular problem in other countries. So what I do is that I download 10 journals, at least 10 journal articles, and read them. This is where the problem is. Most researchers don't want to read. And some people find it difficult to actually read articles that have been published before, that has been published before. But that's because they don't know the logic. I'm going to teach us some logic behind how we can read. In fact, you can read 10 papers within 30 minutes, and you'll be able to see whatever you're looking for in it. Okay? You'll be able to find it. Now, the first thing is that how do you compare your problem with existing literature? It may be your own problem that you identify. Then you want to see if those areas has been exploited. Then another thing is that you may not have a problem, but you just want to download some topics together, some related topics together and identify some gap. Now, when you go online, the best database you can use to search for topic, for researchable topic is you can go to Google Scholar. That's the best one that is accessible. Everyone knows that one. When you go to Google Scholar, you would always see that there on Google Scholar. Okay. So when you go there, you download some articles. Now, I want someone to give me a topic. I want to teach us how we can search Google Scholar for a good article. You don't just search anyhow. Someone should just give me a topic. Can anyone just give me any topic?
Can I?
Yes.
Kindergarten organizational climate. Kindergarten organizational climate. Kindergarten
organizational planning. Kindergarten organizational planning. Now, when you want to search, you can just say did I even remember the spelling of kindergarten? I think I'm right. Yeah, TEN. Is it educational planning or organizational planning?
Organizational climate.
Organizational climate, okay. Now, this is it.
You are not saying that to your screen, no? Okay. So.
This is it. Now I've searched. Now, whenever you want to download articles, always limit your articles to maybe like 7 years. In fact, I don't buy the idea of 10 years. If you look at my master's dissertation, all the citations I used there was limited to 7 years. I don't use 10 years. Some supervisors accept 10 years because I believe 10 years is too old. In fact, at times I always like to limit it to just 5 years so that I'll be current. Okay. So what you do is that you just come here, you see this custom range here. Can we see it? You click on this.
Yes.
Then you type, let's say, okay, I want to use 5 years. 5 years from, okay, I want to use 7 years. 7 years now. That means I'm going to be starting from 2018 to 2025. Okay, then I'll click search, custom range. Now, as you can see, this thing now, every result that is bringing out for me now is within 2018 to 2025, which means every article I want to review now is current body of knowledge, not something that is old, current, okay? That's number one. Then another thing is that there's something we call excitation. I don't know if you've heard of it before. As a researcher, you should have this extension on your browser. Either you are using Chrome browser or Brave browser. Excitation. Just search for excitation extension for browser. Excitation. You install it once you add the excitation. So the function of the excitation is that it's going to give you Scopus index journal. Like, as you can see, you will see that this thing is telling me this is a Q2 journal, this is a Q1, this is a Q2. So those ones are always rigorous, they are always very thorough research. You can see a lot of method, a lot of research direction there. So when you see this now the problem now comes in.
Please, sorry, you have to just mention something.
Excitation. This is here. Excitation. Okay, Mrs. Badmos, you raise up your hand.
So are we to download it separately from the Chrome? This excitation.
No, just search.
Or is it?
Just search for excitation extension. Once you search for it, you see it. Just like this, you just do this. Go to your browser, excitation extension. You will see it. This it's already bringing it. So once you see it, just click on it. When you click on it, you will see something like add to Chrome if you are using Chrome. If you are using Microsoft Edge, add to Microsoft. I don't think it supports Microsoft Edge. Visit, you will see add to Chrome here. Just click on add to Chrome, then it's going to lead you. Once you click on add to Chrome, this one now is going to lead me to another page because I'm using Brave browser. So this is it. I've already added it. That's why you are seeing remove from Brave here. It's already there. Can we see that?
Yes.
Aha, good. So when
Yes.
you add it, you'll be able to see those Scopus indexed paper. Then it's going to give you the journal ranking and every other thing. And if it is the citation you want to look at, you can click on this side. You see sort by citation. If you want to sort those things by citation, that is the most cited one will be on top, then the less cited one will be below. So you can click on cites. The SJR is based on the ranking, maybe Q2, Q1, Q3, Q4, and so on and so forth. Now, when you go to Google, you will realize something. How do you identify open access article on Google Scholar? When you see PDF beside it, that means it's open access. You can access the work without paying for it. As you can see, this one has PDF, is open access. This one has PDF, is open access. This one has PDF, is open access. This one is not open access. If you click on it now and you want to try to download it, it may tell you to pay. It will even tell you to pay. As you can you see it here? I hope you are following.
Yes.
Aha, you can see buy here, right? However, there's a way you can actually escape this. You can actually download this paper. You can use what we call sign up. Let me type it to the chat. Sign up. You know, all these things are practical. That makes our work easier. Sign up. I've sent it to the chat. So you can just search for sign up. I think I already searched for it here. This is sign up. Sign up. Once you search for sign up, you click on it. Okay, then you can use any of the link, but I prefer to use the first one, signup.ru. So once I click this, it's going to lead me here. So it says enter your URL or DOI. So the DOI of the paper, just copy it and paste it here. If they have it, you'll be able to download it. Now this work here now is not open access, but I want to try to see if SciHub has it. I'll copy the link, then I'll go to this place, I'll paste it, then I'll open it. If they have it, I'll be able to download it. So this article is not available, as you can see. It's telling me that they don't have it. So it means that there's no way I can get that paper except I pay for it. So I want to really look for one that we can, we'll be able to download. Let me see if that's possible. I've used it very well. And, you know, okay, I think I should be able to download it, that of Esivia. Okay, let me copy this link. Can we see that it has loaded the paper? Hello, I hope we are following.
We are following.
Aha, so
Yes.
this is the paper now. I can access the paper without paying for it. Although I'm supposed to pay when I come here because it's not open access. Access through your organization, as you can see, other PDF. Can we see it here? So all this thing we are seeing here is just the summary of the paper, not the full paper, as you can see, just a summary of it. But the full paper now, I've been able to escape that and download it. But the major problem here is that this thing has been blocked in India. India people cannot use it again, but in Nigeria, we still have the opportunity of using it. They blocked it last month in India. I don't know why they blocked it. So you can download the paper. Yeah, so that's how to actually overcome the problem of downloading on Google Scholar if the paper is not open access. If they have it at SciHub, just click on that. Okay, Mrs. Badmos, let's hear from you.
So, no, does that mean that each time you want to open this kind of paper, you need to first go to your Chrome to
No,
look
no,
for
no, no.
sign?
Once you are able to access it from here, as you can see here, you can click download. This download here. Can you download here? You can
Yes,
download
I
it.
can see.
Yeah.
I'm asking that maybe you need to be doing this often when you have this kind of paper to download.
Yes, you
You have
can
to
go
go
sign up. Yeah,
each
sign
time.
up. You copy the link and paste it. Yeah, if it's not open access.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's how to do that. Any other question before we proceed?
Yes, sir. I think this one that you have actually demonstrated, there are some schools that they have uh, they have subscribed already for such this
Yes,
thing.
but most Nigerian institutions are not subscribed. That's the problem. Most Nigerian institutions are
Okay.
not subscribed to those. That's the major problem. If it were to be abroad, you are, in fact, you'll be able to download it without even paying anything.
Okay.
Like myself now, I'm registered with the University of the People. I'm doing a program with them. So if I want to download any paper on JustStop, I have the access to download free of charge on JustStop because I have an account with you people and you people has partnered with JustStop. So I understand what you're trying to say, sir. But Nigeria, most of our institutions are not subscribed to those journals. That's the problem. Any other question?
Okay. Yes, I'm interested in this area that you said one can go through 10 journal in a very short time
Oh, that's what I want to do.
because
Yeah, that's what I want to do now. That's what I want to do now. Now, after seeing this,
okay,
now after searching, now a good research article that has been published, if you want to scan through a paper, when you want to read a paper, you don't read everything. The first thing you do is that if you want to read those 10 papers, the easiest way you can do it is that you can first read all the abstracts. All the abstracts. Then when I open a paper, for instance, now I want to open this paper. When I click this paper now, the only thing I will do is this. When I come here, let's say, okay, I want to try to see the full article. Oh, this one is not even open access. Imagine. And they put it there that is open access. Okay, it's not open access, but it's on ResearchGate. It's on ResearchGate. So I can get it from ResearchGate. Okay, this is it. Now, this is the paper now. When I open this paper, I hope you're following. What I'll just do is that
yes,
I'll go to the abstract. This is the abstract. The study investigated relationship between passive teacher empowerment, job satisfaction, organizational climate among 206 sampled kindergarten teachers in this. So that's the abstract. So I'll look at it. If it's aligning with the idea I'm having, then now, if I want to know if there's a problem with this paper, what I'll do is that I'll go to the limitation of the study. That's where you identify research problem. Limitation of the study and future direction for future research. So I'll go there. Some articles don't put it, but it's usually there. So I'll just scroll down and go to limitation. So at times you may not see it as an heading, but you may see it in the conclusion. So if I read this conclusion now, it says that the study enriches our knowledge with this, and that. Okay, we obtain empirical evidence that is greater than this. However, our results were inconsistent with research of this, and that. Okay, now looking at this now, you realize that it says that, however, our results were inconsistent with research in other countries. This and this. That's a problem already because this result is not correlating with existing body of knowledge. That's a problem. So it means that it's alternating each other. Are we getting this?
yes,
Aha. So that's it. I've been able to look at this paper now. I realize that, okay, there's a problem here. So as I'm reading those things, those problems, I can have a Word document where I'll open the Word document, then I'll be putting those citations and those problems. I'll be organizing them. So the citation for this, I'll put it, okay, this is the problem I'm able to identify. Okay, from the abstract, I can see the method, I can see the research design in the abstract, then I organize everything together. So I go to another paper also again. I go to another paper again. Look at it. Okay, I think this one is online access. You may not need to download it. So this is the abstract. I'll read the abstract. Then I'll go down to see if there is a limitation of future research direction. I'm going down. Okay, now this is what I'm saying. Can we see these limitations? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, are you following?
we are
Yes,
with you,
sir.
sir.
Aha, this is limitations. These studies are several limitations. In fact, when I see something like this, I'm always happy because I'll be able to see the problem, the limitation of the study, if it's related to my problem. So I will be able to decide whether it is novel and it is correct. Now, this study has several limitations that need highlighting. First, the sample of 430 teachers was limited to urban kindergarten, meaning that this study was only focused on urban kindergarten. So if I want to carry out my own now in the same location or in the same context, I can make sure that my own is covering both urban and rural. So with that, I'm contributing a new body of knowledge. Are we following?
Can we recite again, please? Sorry.
Okay, like this study has several limitations that need highlighting. First,
Yes.
samples of the 436 teachers was limited to urban area alone. So if I want to do my own now, I can combine it to make it both urban and rural. So with that, my result, what I'm bringing is different from existing literature. Are we getting it?
Yes.
I hope the information is not too much because, I really want us to get this thing, even if we are not able to finish all the outline. Mr. Rahim, anything? Mrs. Badmos, anything? Any question?
Sorry, this rural and urban, I believe Lagos, is there any rural area in Lagos? I just want to be able to situate this.
Yeah, there's rural. There are some places that are still very, 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 very that are deep. You can find out. Yeah, they are rural. They are rural.
Because looking
Mrs.
at
Badmont.
yes, sir.
Mrs. Badmont, you stay in Yaba, and I stay at Ajegunle, Abi Ajenogo, Agbowa, Iko, all those areas. The lifestyle, the difference, the school style, and everything.
Yeah, it's different.
Differs.
Yeah, you can't compare it
So my
with
own
Yaba.
area is rural.
Yeah, yeah. In fact,
So
as a matter of fact, we can't even compare Yaba to BI. It's different.
It's different. That's another thing. Yes.
It's different. Yaba and VI, they are two different things, so they are not the same. Then it now says, now after identifying the limitation, they acknowledge the limitation. And the reason for that is that it reduces the generalizability of the study. So the study cannot be generalized to rural region because it's carried out in urban area. So it now says future studies should include more geographic areas and possibly expand to the whole country. Pam, I've seen my area of research problem. Can you see the gap I'm filling now? The gap I want to fill now is that I want to fill the gap of location, like the urban and the rural together. Then I want to make sure that I expand the area. Maybe the area they use in this one. Now you now go back to the method and look for which method, what's the sample and sampling technique, like the sample. You go back there and try to identify it. Okay, I think material. Okay, now the participants were teachers from kindergarten in Eran province, China, just one province. Then the next thing you need to look for now is that if it's in Enan province, you now go online to go and look at how big is Enan province. Are you following? So just so that you can compare it to the area you want to use, probably in Nigeria or whichever context you want to use it. So it says about that 30 kindergarten participated in the study, each kindergarten. So just 30 kindergarten students and 439 teachers. So if I want to do my own now, I will not want to limit my own to just 30. I may want to decide to use my own to be, let's say, I want to say 100. Do we get it now?
Yes.
So with this now, I can go to another paper again, do the same thing, like that, and bring it all together. Now, don't stress yourself to come up with a problem you want to address. Now, based on the idea, don't forget you already have the idea of what you want to do before. So based on that, after putting all those things together in a Word document, you can now go back to ChatGPT. The first thing you do when you want to do research is not ChatGPT. You need to first do some background work. Then you upload that thing to ChatGPT and tell that ChatGPT that, okay, this is the problem I identify, and this is what has been in existing studies. These are the limitations. I've uploaded the document. Can you help me compare it with my own idea and help me come up with a research problem? Simple as that. ChatGPT will be able to do that for you. Do we get this now?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Any other question? Mr. Aim, I guess your network is giving you issue.
Sorry. does that mean that each, like the paper, like the 10 article that you have been able to get something, to get information from, do
Yeah.
you now need to upload this one individually to ChatGPT, or
No,
can
no,
one?
not individually. Those things, as you are reading those things, you are copying them and pasting them in a Word document separately. Those things you are identified from each paper. Do you get it, man?
Okay,
That's what.
okay.
Okay, okay. Let me try to look for. Did I have any work I've done like that? I don't think I have the work. It's on the second laptop, and that laptop is, is having some issue currently. Okay, now another thing is that when you want to search topic, you don't just search the topic like this. Okay. Now there are some papers. Okay, this topic may not want to. Okay, now if I want to search, okay, let me come up with another topic. Let's say I want to investigate the impacts of ICT on students. Okay, let me say on mathematics students, computational skills. Now, this is it. The impact of ICT usage. This is the problem, like the topic generally that I'm copying that I want to use. If I search this now, it's going to bring a whole lot of, don't forget I've limited it to 2018 to 2050. It's bringing it out for me. Now, in another way, I can search, I can do mathematics students usage, ICT usage. I can do ICT usage. Look at it. I can do ICT usage, and I'll put this in a quote like this. Then I'll do capital and then I'll do computational skills. The reason why I'm doing this is that there are some papers that will talk on usage of ICT in mathematics, but will not talk on computational skills. I also want to consider those papers because I may want to gain one or two things from there in writing my literature review. Then there are some papers that will talk on computational skills, and it may not be on ICT usage among mathematics students. So if I search it now, it's going to pull those papers out for me. Do you get the reason why I'm doing it this way? And
Yes.
sorry, I've made a mistake. And means that it's going to combine the two. But if I want to search for papers that will do it separately, I'll put "or" in capital letter. Do you get the difference between the two now?
Yes.
Aha. So if I search for it, it's going to pull it out for me. Then another way we can do that, okay, yeah, I think I've been able to address how we can identify novel and relevant research topic now by going to the body of knowledge. Even when we have our own idea, we want to be sure that what we want to do is not something that has been covered. And if it has been covered, we want to cover the gap that has been left by previous studies. Do we get this now?
Yes.
Aha. So another way now is that there's a particular AI tool that can actually help you to search for papers. But that AI tool is also limited. You still need to come back to Google Scholar or you go back to Elsevier to do that. Okay. Now, the name of the AI is undermined.ai. Undermined.ai. Let me copy it and paste it on the chat so that if you want to access it as I'm doing it, you can do that. Does anyone have any area of topic now presently, apart from Mrs. Badmos, any other person again that want to give us a topic that we can use this undermine to practicalize? But this
Yes, I have.
okay, sir. This undermine, before you can use it, you need to have a student's email address to register. You need a student's email address to register on it. Okay, sir, Mr. Bala, what's the topic?
Student mathematical concept learning.
Okay, so
And
come here. I want peer reviewed. Okay, no, don't let me put peer reviewed. I want articles. Okay, on what? Students mathematical what?
Yes, student mathematical concept learning.
Concepts learning. Okay.
Learning.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay, I want articles on student mathematical concept learning. Now, don't forget that I said we should always limit our stuff to 2017, between 2018, 7 years. So you can do from 2017 to 2025. Why I like this undermine is that it's going to ask you some questions. It's going to put you into thinking. You need to think. Even if you don't know what you want to do before, it will push you to know what you want to do. Now, if you do this now, see what's going to tell me now. What this thing will tell me. It's going to ask me several questions. Now look at it. Great. Let's narrow this so the topic is scientifically coherent and yields the literature you can actually want. A few quick clarification. Population K-12. Is your population K-12? That is year 1 to year 12. Undergraduates, graduates, or adult learners. Any particular demographic, e.g., multilingual learner, student with disability, etc. So which area? Based on this question now, Mr. Abadi.
Undergraduate.
Undergraduates. Okay.
Undergraduate.
Okay, undergraduate population. Population. Okay. Which are, it now says content focus. Specific, is there any specific mathematical concept, fraction, function, limits, proof, linear algebra, or concept learning broadly?
Functions.
Functions. Functions. Okay. Learning context. Is it classroom instruction, technology enhanced, that is intelligent tutors, AI, dynamic geometry, MOOC, inquiry-based activity, active learning, assessment or intervention? Which one?
Classroom enhanced.
Classroom enhanced. Okay. Classroom enhanced. Okay. It now says outcomes or method. Is it conceptual understanding versus procedural fluency, or conceptual change or misconception? Transfer, metacognition, and so on.
Conceptual understanding versus procedural learning.
How conceptual understanding versus procedural learning.
Fluency also.
Or fluency, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next thing is that setting or discipline, mathematics education versus cognitive psychology, learning sciences, formal schooling, or informal settings.
Formal schooling.
Okay, formal schooling. Can we see that this thing is very, very useful because it will make you to think? Are we following? Mrs. Badmos, Mr. Tijani, Mr. Rahim, are we following?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Formal schooling. Okay. It now says constraints. Okay, English studies only. Okay. Let's make it English article only because some articles are not written in English.
Okay.
English written article. Should we have a geographical limitation, like limited to a particular location, Mr. Bola?
Yes,
Nigeria, right?
Nigeria secondary schools.
Okay. Boom, I've put it now. It's still going to ask me some question until the AI is satisfied. Thank you. This is very helpful. I see one potential inconsistency to resolve. So we capture exactly what you want. You specified undergraduate population and Nigeria secondary school. Yeah, that's true. We said Nigeria secondary school and undergraduate is supposed to be undergraduates. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Undergraduates. Undergraduates in Nigeria. Okay. Then it says, two quick micro clarification. Classroom enhanced. Do you mean regular classroom instruction or classroom enhanced by technology? Which one?
Regular classroom instruction.
Yeah, regular classroom instruction. Okay. It now says study type. Should it include empirical primary? Okay, this one we need to include both empirical, conceptual, and system. Okay, conceptual, systematic, review, and meta-analysis. I'm still going to explain to us the difference between all these things. And meta-analysis.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for the clarification. To confirm, you want undergraduate students in Nigeria focusing on conceptual understanding of function in regular, non-technology as classroom instruction and this. So if that's correct, here is the precise topic students statement. Now it says, I want to find English language empirical studies and systematic review / meta-analysis from 2017 to 2025 on undergraduate students in Nigeria that investigate conceptual understanding versus procedural fluency of function in regular classroom instruction within formal higher education centers. Generate report. So it's going to search. So what this thing is going to do is that instead of you going through the stress of going to Google Scholar, going to Doat, going to Exivia, going to Scopus, it's going to search all those database, bring them together, bring those papers together based on the prompt you've given to it and give you those papers. So let's wait for it. It's going to take time. So as that is loading, let's go to the other thing here. So I said that a good research topic must address a current issue or problem. So to know the current issue or problem, you need to look at the previous studies, and it must fill a knowledge gap in existing literature, and it must have practical implications or applications. So that's that on that. Okay, so the next thing after that has generated is that I want to look at tools we need to learn to use as a researcher. We've talked about some of these tools, but for emphasis sake, we'll still need to look at it in detail. Let's wait for this thing to load. Mr. Rahim, your network is really giving you an issue tonight. Hello, Mr. Rahim, ṣé wà pẹ̀lú wa? Network Mr. Rahim yìí lálẹ́ yìí. Mr. Rahim, ṣé wà pẹ̀lú wa?
His network will form another research gap.
Yes, so Mr. Tijani, ti sọ̀rọ̀ látìgbà tẹ́ ti join meeting yìí. Hello, Mr. Tijani. Ṣé ṣe páwọn èèyàn ti sùn báyìí?
You are still around. I'm still around.
Yes, I know you are still.
I'm still
Yeah, I know Mrs. Badman is. I'm talking about Mr. Tijani and Mr. Rahim because I'm not hearing from them. So it's adapting and searching. As you can see, it's searching thoroughly, not like ChatGPT. You know, I see people that rely on ChatGPT for research writing as lazy people. Lazy people. That's why I see people. You know, at times when I'm talking about something, some people will just be like, my wala is just too much. Because I always want, if you want to do a work that will make sense that people will see and they will appreciate. You know, there's this
It's
work
true.
Mr. Rahim, what do you say?
No, it's Mr. Bola that is talking. I say it's true.
Yeah, there's this work I published April this year. I submitted the paper for publication last year, September, and it was approved. It was published April in a Scopus Index journal. If you know the amount of people that has messaged me as a result of that paper, you know, a lot of offers are just coming. Recently, I got a offer in one institution like that. They want to partner with me so that anytime I publish a paper, I'm going to use one of their authors, like the researcher in their institution as an author in my paper, and I'll get paid for it. They want visibility. So they want authors that are publishing in Scopus Index and Web of Science. And it's a very nice offer. So, and it's as a result of the time I took to work on that paper with my friend. We were two on the paper. So that's the essence. We must do a very perfect and wonderful job. This thing takes time. I just want it to load, and I want to explain this area before I go to another thing. Mr. Rahim, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì yìí lálẹ́ yìí báyìí? Okay, Mr. Rahim got it down in group. I'm with you, sir. Oh, Mr. Tijani ló sọ pé I'm battling with network. Network gbọ́dọ̀ olúwa o.
Báyìí ni Olúwa wí.
So, the reason I don't have issue with problem most times is because, as an online teacher, I have 3 networks I'm using. So that if one gets me disappointed, I will use another one. All right, so the search is complete. Can we see the search now? Hello, are we still there? Mrs. Badmos, Mr. Tijani, Mr. Rahim, Mr. Bola?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm finished.
Okay, it says empirical and review studies on Nigerian undergraduates' conceptual understanding of functions in higher education classroom between 2017 to 2015. It says no English language empirical studies or systematic review were found that directly investigate Nigerian undergraduates' conceptual understanding of function. That's a problem already. Are we seeing? That's a problem already.
Yes.
Contrasted with procedural knowledge. That is, there's no study that combines both conceptual understanding and fluency together. That's a problem. So that will be a basis for our review whenever we are reviewing studies and want to put forward a research problem. It now says, in regular higher education classroom, the only Nigeria-based study located targeted procedural differentiation achievement. So it means that the idea you are bringing in, sir, you need to work on it. It's a very good idea. It's a very good researchable topic, and if you can be able to wait patiently and work on it very well, in fact, you'll be able to publish it in a reputable journal. It now says, it says the only Nigeria-based study located targeted procedural differentiation achievement, and this is the study. It says examining the efficacy of cooperative learning strategy on undergraduate student achievement in mathematics. So you can access the study. Once you are like this, you click on open paper, you go to the paper, and you'll be able to read the paper. So it now says, while concept-focused evidence comes from other countries. So other countries have done a lot of work on it. We have this study, we have these studies, we have these studies, we have these studies, we have these studies, and everything are open access as things you can actually access with an explicit concept procedure coding only in South Africa. So these are the studies. You can exploit this study, then you compare it with whatever idea is coming, then you'll be able to come up with your own area of research interest. In fact, after gathering those things together, you can even still paste it here and ask for a way you can formulate your research question very well. Very well. Why I like this thing is that this thing can write literature review for you, but I don't advise that you depend on it because at times it misbehaves also. It will write a perfect literature review for you, and use the citation based on the search. If you prompt it very well, but you still need to review it to ensure that it's doing the right thing and not generating some citations that are not correct. Do we understand how to use it under mine now?
Yes, ChatGPT do that. They will just come up with one citation that is wrong.
ChatGPT. That one is the boss of the whole thing.
Yeah.
ChatGPT will always do that. Okay. So can we proceed to the next thing now? I think we've been able to know how to identify research problem now.
Yes.
Okay.
What of Gemini and the DeepSeek? What about those ones too?
DeepSeek
Gemini.
works like ChatGPT. There's no AI that can write research paper for a researcher. I would always say it and I'll still repeat it. You can only use AI to correct your grammar, to organize your work very well, but using it to write your paper is not advisable. And if you want to use it to write your paper, you must be an expert in prompting it. And before you can prompt it, you must have come up with some ideas, some citations you want ChatGPT to use. Like you come up with those statements, then you put the citations there, you upload it, then you tell it to organize it and help you to write in the literature. But telling it to write the literature review for you, in fact, it's very, very wrong and it's not ethical. Have I answered your question, Mrs. Badmus?
Yes, thank you. But this particular one, I hope it is free too. This undermined AI.
Undermined is free, but has limitation. If you want to prompt it after session, okay, you can only prompt 3 times. Once you prompt 3 times for that day, you can't do any prompting again. So what I do is that I just use it to search for papers. I don't even prompt it again. It was when I started working on papers, then I was not used to all these tools that I use it to prompt. But now I don't do that. I take my time to read those papers and bring out the things I need from it. That's what I do now. But you can subscribe if you want, but the subscription is very hard. I'm even thinking of bringing people together that we can pay. We pay monthly and subscribe to it. People do it very well. They will partner together. They'll create an account and, everyone will have access to it and they will be able to use it anytime.
I'm interested though. I'm interested.
Likewise,
It is good.
likewise myself, I'm interested.
Oh, wow, that's great. I believe Mr. Rahim too will be interested. No problem. We can actually come together and, we'll be paying on monthly basis and we'll subscribe to it. So everyone will have the access to it, the password and the email. All right.
I think it's good though.
Okay.
After all, the DSP we subscribe for, we don't have time to look at them.
Yeah, so let's go, let's finish the last part of this thing. So tools you need to learn to use as a researcher. Before then, apart from this Google Scholar, there are other places you can get research paper. There's something we call DOAJ. DOAJ means Directory of Open Access Journals. So if you want open access journal directly, just go to doaj.org. doaj.org. Let me send the site to the group. doaj.org. And in doaj.org, you can get articles, like you can get journals where you can publish your articles. So doaj.org. Sorry, what I'm sending is actually DOI link. Let me copy this. I've sent doaj.org to the group. So if you search doaj.org now, you can find journals there and you can find articles there as well. Free of charge. Any paper you see here, look at it. As you can see, you have journal. If it's journal you want to find, click on journal. If it's article, you can click on articles. So let's take, for instance, you want to find education and technology article. It says in all feed, you can limit it by subject. So it's going to limit it by subject, arrange it by subject, but I want it in all fields. Search. So as you can see, it has pulled 107,272 index articles. So what DOAJ does is that there are some journals that are indexed in DOAJ. So any journal that is indexed in DOAJ, their papers will be made available free of charge. And the journals that are always indexed here are always open access journals. So you can limit it. Let's assume I'm limiting it to education. I'll pick education now. As you can see, it has reduced. Then under education, did I have any specific area of education? Is it science? So I can limit it to science. Okay. So under science, is there any specific topic? I can limit it to chemistry since chemistry is my area of studies. Okay. So under chemistry, is there any other area? Okay. Let me just say I want it in general. So I don't have a specific chemistry topic.
Organic, inorganic.
Everything is there. So then, okay, I don't want to limit it to journal. I want to limit it to publications. Yeah. So I want it to be, as you can see, there are some papers that would have been published ahead. Like this one now, 2026. The paper is meant for 2026 publication, but that journal has published it ahead. So I want it to be 2025 to, oh, this thing is not sorting it the way Google Scholar does. I mean, the way Scopus does. Okay, to make it easier, you can just pick 2025. You exploit all the 2025, then you pick 2024 again, like that, and you'll be able to get all the papers that you need, DOAJ. Then we also have Elsevier, Scopus. Let me send the link. Scopus. So if you want Scopus index paper, just come to Scopus directly. You will get those Scopus. And the reason why it's always advisable, if you want to consider your paper for Scopus index journals, always make sure that 90% or let's say 80% of your citation is based on Scopus index journal article. That's another thing they consider, those editors. Are we together?
Yes.
So let's say I want to search for, okay, now I submitted a paper, was it yesterday or day before yesterday now? And this is one of the things I did. So I'm searching for climate change education and science education. So articles that combine those two. I'll just click on search. So if I want to search here now, I want to limit it to studies that are open access. And as you can see, I want to limit it to 2016. Oh, 16 is too far. 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Then I want to limit it to, if I want only research articles, I'll limit it to research articles. So these are the papers. So I can download them. They are open access. So you can see it here. So this is the abstract, you can export. So you can actually click everything once. That is the advantage of Scopus. You can click everything once and download all the 5 articles. So once you download it, you will actually, oh, something went wrong. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not downloading, but I've tried it before and it works. So you can download it, then you'll be able to access the paper. And you can download it individually also. So those are the major areas we need to know about for now. So let's go back to the last aspect for today. Tools you need to learn to use as a researcher. Number 1, reference management tools. Now, I'm very sure that most of us will have difficulty organizing our references. You know, at times you must have written a particular work, and later on when you want to compile your references, you'll be struggling. You won't be able to get the portal where you access that particular citation. It's very easy. You can use reference management tools. We have Zotero. You have Zotero. The spelling is not even correct. It's REO. We have Menly and we have EndNote. So among all these 3, the one that is most user-friendly is Zotero. I've used both Menly and Zotero. I've not used EndNote before. I've not tried this. But I prefer Zotero to EndNote, to Menly. So this is Zotero. You can install it, okay? So how to install it, just go to your YouTube and find, search for how to install and use Zotero. So once you install it, you'll be able to use it. So this Zotero now, I've installed it already. I want to load it so that we'll see how it's looking at. We'll still find time and I will teach us on how to use all those things. So I did a work recently on SDG, and these are the papers I used. Can we see all the papers here? Hello, are we together?
We are together.
Yeah, these are the papers. These are the papers. Okay, let me just show us a very perfect way of we can use that. I'm just going to open any document and tell us how we can use that. But before you can use Zotero, you must have, okay, let me create a folder. There's no time to actually teach us in details on how to use this, but I'll just do a brief explanation of how to use it. I want to create a new folder. Now, this is the folder I want to create for all my papers. Let's assume the same way we've been searching the other time on Google Scholar. Not this one. Okay. Okay, let's assume it's even Elsevier I want to use. Now, this is Elsevier. I want to use this particular paper. I will just click and drag it to this my citation tools. At times, when you click and drag, it may not work. This is the problem I'm having with this thing. I don't have time to give verifying robots. Okay, let me just do this. I'll view PDF. Mr. Rahim, ẹ kú rọ̀jú. Mr. Rahim go tell you so. What's wrong with this network? Okay, this is the paper. So I will go to the DOI. Where is the DOI of this paper? This is DOI. DOI means Document Object Identifier. That's the full meaning of DOI. So I'll copy the link. Are we following? Mrs. Badmos?
Yes.
Mr. Tijani, okay. I'll copy the link.
Yes, sir.
I'll come to Zotero. You'll see something here. Can we see this icon here? It says add item by identifier. DOI is an identifier. So I'll click it. So look at the identifier. You can use ISBN, you can use DOI, you can use different things. So I'll paste it here. Then I'll click enter. So this paper has already been added here now. So I can easily even read the abstract. Okay, it doesn't extract the abstract. Okay. So this paper has been added. Let's assume I want to cite this particular paper now. This particular paper. Immediately I have this. If I come to this place and I want to cite it, I'll come to, you must have installed the extension on your laptop. Just follow the process. When you go to YouTube, you are going to be guided on how to do that. I'll click on add citation. I'll click the format. This is APA 7th edition. I'll click OK. Look at it. This is the recent paper I added. Can we see it?
Yes.
I'll click on it. This is it. Then I'll click it. As you can see, it has cited it. Let's assume I have my statement like this. It has cited the statement. So if I want to get the list of reference for this, I can just go down and click on add or edit bibliography. Bibliography is also references. Once I click on it, it's going to bring it for me. Why is it taking time? Okay, this is it. Can we see the list of reference? I don't need to stress myself. It has formatted it in APA format without any stress. APA 7th edition. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes.
So
But
that's actually.
sorry, it seems you are too fast. Sorry.
Oh.
Let me just recap what you
said. Oh, so sorry.
After get. Sorry, is it after getting all the information Like after you might have worked on the paper, then you now bring it down to this Zotero
Yeah,
EndNote.
yeah, you can bring it to the Zotero. In fact, at times, okay, let me tell us a simple way you can do it. You can download this paper. Okay, you can download this paper. Let's say you downloaded it. Let me just put it on my downloads. Okay, now I'm going to delete it from this place. Now, I'll go to my download here. This is the paper here. I'll click and I'll drag it. This way now, I'll be able to access the PDF. As you can see PDF here. Once you see PDF here, it means that you can access the PDF. I can double click it and open the PDF. So I can read the paper directly from Zotero without going online again. So this is the paper on Zotero now. And the way this Zotero is structured is that you can annotate on it. Like for instance, let's assume I want to annotate a particular statement. Let's say for instance, I want to use this particular statement. I can annotate it. Look at it. Can we see it?
Yes.
I can annotate the statement. So next time, if I need the statement, I can just copy the statement. Okay, this is the statement I want to use now.
What do you mean by annotate? Sorry, is it that you are copying as well?
Yeah, like
Copy
you
it.
are giving it color. It's just like you are reading a book and you are shading it. That's annotate.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it. If I give it this green color now, that's it. So I can decide to copy this. And if I go back to my Word now, I can paste it here. You know, I cited that paper the other time. I can paste it here. So I've been able to cite this particular statement now. But when you are copying, make sure you paraphrase so that you don't have too much of plagiarized content. You need to paraphrase. And that's where Grammarly.
Sorry, okay, Grammarly. For paraphrasing, you need Grammarly.
Yeah, Grammarly, Quillbot, and so on and so forth. Like this one now, I have Grammarly here. So I can easily do this. I will highlight it. Then where's my Grammarly? Okay, this is my Grammarly. Come here. Then I will do paraphrase it. This is paraphrase it. It's working on it. So after it has worked on it, I will just click on insert if I'm satisfied. So it has inserted it. Not as the same way it is before. That's Grammarly. So we have other tools that we can use. We have Zotero, like I said, Menly. Menly is also okay if you know how to use it, but it's more advanced than Zotero. Then we have data analysis tool, which is SPSS, Excel. I highlighted SPSS because SPSS is mostly common in social sciences and sciences for analysis. That's the most common one.
Yeah.
But the disadvantage of SPSS is that SPSS doesn't present data very well, like the image, pictures, figures. Yeah, let me say figures generally. I don't like the way SPSS presents figures. So what I use most times is that I use Power BI to present my figures. So that's why I don't like SPSS. But for analysis, SPSS is the best. Then if you know Excel, R, or Python. So R can either handle both the figures and the analysis, but R is more advanced. Python is also advanced, but you can know SPSS and Excel. I know how to do this very well, but if I want to teach someone any of these, either Excel or SPSS, I'll have to charge for it. It's not something I can teach for free because I also learn it with money and it take a lot of stress. Then literature review. Okay, we've explored literature review, Google Scholar, ResearchGate. Yeah, ResearchGate. We can also use ResearchGate. We can use Duach. You can use Academia. You can use Eric. You can use Science Open. I'm going to send this PDF to us so that anytime we can visit it. Then we have plagiarism and AI detector. I'm aware that PhD students are always given access to Turnitin. Turnitin, yeah, PhD students. Yeah, Mr. Tijani says we'll be needing the manual. Okay, I'll send the copy, this thing to the group after this meeting. So we have plagiarism detector. I know that the PhD students are given access to Turnitin. And if you are not a student, like if your institution does not give you access to Turnitin, you can't use it. It's not something you can subscribe yourself. Assuming it's something we can subscribe, I would have subscribed to it, but you can't. But what I use most of the time is plagiarismdetector.net. Are we together?
We are together.
Yeah, plagiarismdetector.net. But the disadvantage of this is that it's only limited to 1,000 word per time if you are not subscribed. So what I do is that I copy 1,000 word per time. I don't want to load this here. Don't want to load this here. Let me just copy the link and show us how I do that. Just copy the link and I'll copy a content of a particular paper. Let me just copy the content of this paper. No, not this one. There's a paper on the other side. Okay, let me copy some content here. I want to be something that doesn't have citation. I want it to be something that doesn't have citation. Well, no problem. So this is it. I'm going to paste it here. You can use it to check grammar as well, but I don't use it for grammar. Check plagiarism. Oh, it behaves at times. So it's processing. This thing is going to have a lot of plagiarism. This is how I know. When it's reading very fast like this, that means there is tendency that there's plagiarism in the work. It's very fast. Of course, there's plagiarism because I copied it from a particular PDF.
Sorry. In order to overcome this kind of challenges, how do you now make it to be less percentage of plagiarism?
Number one, you can use paraphrasing tools like Quillbot, Grammarly. But the disadvantage of that is that if you use those ones, it's going to introduce an increase in the AI percentage. Because you know all these Grammarly, Quillbot, they are also AI. That's what people don't know. So if you check your AI percentage, it's going to be very high. So another thing is that you can manually do that. Manually paraphrase. So after you must have used all those paraphrasing tools, then you look at it yourself and see a way you can adjust it so that you can reduce this thing. If you paraphrase it with all those Grammarly and stuff like that, the plagiarism is going to reduce. It's not going to be much, but it's going to increase the AI stuff. So you can manually do that to overcome it. Have I answered your question, ma'am?
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So as you can see, this one is telling me that it is 63%, 38% units, plagiarism 63%, and it has highlighted those areas for me. Those areas that are plagiarized in this work. Look at it. So I can just highlight those areas and find a way to paraphrase those areas, and then I'm good to go. So the next thing is we can also use PaperPal. PaperPal works like Turnitin, but you can subscribe without having institutional access using PaperPal. Then you have Quillbot. Quillbot can cite, it can plagiarize, it can rewrite. A lot of things are on Quillbot. In fact, you can also use Quillbot to organize your list of reference, but it is more stressful if you don't know how to use it very well. Then we have the typing and editing tools like MS Word, Grammarly, Quillbot. Those things too, you need to know how to use them as a researcher. So we have types of research articles. I think I will need to stop here so that I don't give us too much of information because I'm rushing because of time. I need to sleep. So I think I'll need to stop here. Let me just move on. Maybe in the next seminar, we are going to start from here, types of articles. Okay, so let me just go on to the question and answer section. So if there's any question and answer, I would like to entertain question and answer. Mr. Abola, Mrs. Badmos, Mr. Tijani, any question?
Well, I don't necessarily have question,
Okay.
but I really enjoyed this session of the program seminar, and I appreciate you a lot.
I'm really
And honestly, the presentation is solid and fantastic. It's a clear evidence of good knowledge of the content, what you want to do, what you are doing, and
thank you very
all
much.
sort of what you can do. And with all honesty, I wish to partnership with you.
Oh, wow, that's okay. Do you mean in research area?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. I'm always
Whichever
available.
way, whichever way you will define partnership,
Okay,
we should be able to dialogue and raise it up.
okay, no
And
problem.
see,
No problem. You
it
can
is
reach
a
out to me.
fantastic.
Yeah, you can
It
reach
is
out to
nice.
me on WhatsApp for that.
Yes, on your, I don't have your personal WhatsApp, I think. Do I?
You are on the group,
Because from what I'm seeing now,
and the one that
I am seeing, I can see you as Bamidele Tijani, and
yes,
another Tijani is existing. Am I right?
yes, I'm the one that always post information. I'm the admin of that group. Once you check the admin, I'm the one.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yes, sir. Okay.
I strongly agree with you. We should just call it a day because it's tending to.
All right, sir. Mrs. Badmos,
Yeah.
anything from you?
Thank you very much. On a quick note, please, is there anything you can say on proposal? On how proposal should be properly written? As in,
That's another thing, because if I should start explaining, we may not be able to explore it in details. Proposal is another
but
thing.
what tool are there tools also to also come up with
A proposal,
proposal top
uh,
notch?
proposal, there's nothing much about proposal. Proposal is just a summary of everything you want to do from chapter 1 to 30. Chapter 1 to 3 rather. Chapter 1 to 3. And I think there's a word count limit for proposal. There's a word count limit. I'll check. I'll find out again. I've forgotten the word count. Yeah, there's a word count limit for proposal. And when you do your proposal very well, it makes the real project very easy. It makes the real
Yes.
project easy.